Hey guys, thanks for joining me again here today. My name is Kaylee and I'm so glad that you're here. I had another vision that I wanted to go ahead and share with you, and I pray that it would just kind of give you some insight, give you some clarity, give you some revelation, and really above all, I pray that it would draw you closer to Jesus' heart and that you would just get to know him a little better. He would, be able to bring some insight into you and into your life, and that this would, just bring you some joy and some expectation of what God might be doing and how, just have a beautiful relationship with him in a way that works for you. So this vision came to me back in August, but I did sit on it for a minute, just kind of waiting for the Lord to reveal a little bit more to me. And I really feel like this is the right time that I'm supposed to be releasing it. So I'm just going to be obedient and go ahead and share it now. And yeah, I pray that he would work through it, and I pray that it would strengthen your faith, and that it would really just bring you some encouragement of, what direction our nation might be going in, and just really, where is God at in all of this. So yeah, I'll go ahead and share the vision with you and just kind of what he gave me right at the end. So in this vision, I saw what looked like a person, like a large person, I guess, pulling. It looked like a bed sheet. Like, I didn't really know how to explain it, but it's like a big white bed sheet, and they were like pulling on it, but it was underneath of like this big skyscraper, like just this huge tall building. And for some reason, this sheet of, I don't know, like a big blanket, I guess, was stuck on like right at the bottom. And so this person was trying to pull it out from like the middle of this building. And I, kept watching them. They kept pulling and they kept trying, and it wasn't working. And eventually, like, they kept pulling to the point where like it looked like it just ripped, or like the person, kind of slipped off and they just fell back, and they sat there for a minute. You could kind of tell like they were frustrated. They needed to regroup for a second, and then they came back around. And rather than, just standing right in front of it and just pulling straight back as like hard as they could, you could tell like after they had, kind of stopped for a second, they had a different plan. And so what they decided to do this time is they started to walk, like they held onto the end of the bed sheet and they just walked around the building, I don't know, a couple different times. And you could see, the bed sheet was like, getting twisted around the building as they were walking with it, until they kind of got to the point where, I guess they decided like it was short enough. And so this time, rather than just pulling, as hard as they could, they just, as they pulled the end of it, it started to like twist the entire building, because the bed sheet had kind of like twisted around it. And so as it untwisted the building with it. It was like super trippy, but really like a cool concept. And so like it just kept twisting, almost like taking like a screw off, and it just kept untwisting and unscrewing until all of a sudden like the whole top of the building just like toppled over and collapsed. And as soon as the building collapsed over and it like released, what they had been trying to pull out this entire time, what I thought was just a bed sheet, which wasn't making any sense. But as soon as they pulled it out and like the building fell over, then the whole thing kind of came up and it like was flying in the breeze, I guess. And it was this beautiful, big, huge American flag. Like, it was so big. It was bigger than the building itself, and it was finally able to fly again, and it was flying across the sky and in the breeze, and it was beautiful. And you're kind of thinking it would be all tattered and messy and kind of dirty, but it wasn't. It was pristine and it was beautiful, almost like it had been preserved while it was sitting there. And it was like just this beautiful sign to see this big huge American flag flying free in the sky. And yeah, it was just, I was amazed at it. It was such a beautiful vision. And so, yeah, I kind of was asking God what it was that he was trying to speak through this. And I felt like what he was saying was, watch America be great again, be free again, for we are one nation under God with liberty and justice for all. And I feel like It may be short and sweet and simple, but it is so profound. It is so bold. Like, we all understand what that statement means. We all understand what our nation represents to not only every person that lives in the United States, but also what it represents to the whole world, to all of the nations. They really look to us and they know who we are and what we represent. And for a long time, God has been at the root of that, and that we are one nation under God, but that it is time for us to be free again. And I really feel like that's what that was representing, is the American flag was free to fly. Like, we are able to be free again. So I don't feel like he had to give me a lot of specific details, as much as of course we all want specific details as to what that would look like and how are we going to get there, and who are the people that are going to get us there. All of those really great questions. I really feel like it's more of the concept that we are going to be there again. We are going to get there, and God's already got it planned out. And so really what that means is we don't have to worry. We don't have to be anxious over it, or really even fight over it, because this is a fight God is fighting for us. He is with us. He is for us. He is fighting. He's taking this on because he loves us. He loves this nation. He loves what we represent and who we are. And it's not something that we have to, go for or go up against, but we just have to stand in agreement with God. We have to stand in alignment with what he is doing, who he is, and what he wants to do, and he will do the rest. And I really feel like that's all I need to know. I just need to know, like, he has got it under control. He is protecting us. He's keeping us safe, and he's going to bring us out on the other side, and it's going to be beautiful, and we're all going to be better for it. And God's, got it all in a plan for a reason, and it's all unfolding, like, metaphorically and figuratively, like in the real world. It is all beginning to unfold right before us, and like, we're going to start to see God's hand in everything, and it's a really beautiful sight. And I just encourage you to keep praying and keep really standing in agreement and alignment with what God's will is for our nation, and he's going to bring it to pass. And it's going to be all for his glory and his namesake, and he's going to be the one that is known because of everything that we have gone through and how he brings us out on the other side. So yeah, I pray that this is encouraging. I'm not here to start any political anything, so that's not what this is. This is simply to remind you God knows what his intentions are for our nation, and he's going to carry it out. He's going to bring us through, and it's going to be what it's always meant to be, because he's fighting for us, and we aren't meant to do this alone. And yeah, like, let's just stand in agreement with him, and may God's will be done, and we're all excited to be able to get to the other side in an honest way. So yeah, I just pray that this blesses you, and I pray that this would encourage you to take it back to God, and maybe he has more revelation for you personally on what that looks like, and what to be praying into, what to be doing, what to be focusing on, all of those good things. I pray that he would be able to give that to you too, and that this would just kind of spark that interest for you. But I pray that you have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.